Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Metroid Prime. In the last episode we have successfully escaped from the frigate Orpheon as it was exploding, but we somehow managed to lose almost all of our power-ups as part of it, which is ridiculous and annoying. But anyway, we've now come here to Tallon Overworld, which is one of my favourite looking locations in, I think, any GameCube game, I would say, in terms of music and atmosphere and everything. Just stuff like the little drops of water on the HUD. That was something we didn't see again until, like, Mario 3D World on the Wii U. Anyway, we can scan the gunship from here, and that's a little bit for the logbook. Hunter-class gunship. Can return to it. Basically, it's a save station, and it's there for the entire game. It never moves anywhere, so... Anyway, let's head on through here to the root tunnel, and... Wait, hey, there we go. I knew an enemy popped up soon. Another scan. These are... Wait for it. Beetles! Burrowing insects with extremely resilient carapace. Extremely aggressive. Insect's massive mouth enables it to tunnel through solid rock at high speeds. Above ground, beetles can cover short distances rapidly. They attack anything that moves near their lair. But they're just a standard enemy. They'll just pop up and menace you, and then they'll fuck off again. But we'll be seeing a fair bit of them kind of recently. So our kind of goal for now is essentially... Though it's talking about, like, Ridley and stuff like that, our goal is essentially just explore and scan everything, because gotta love that old 100%ing. This is a sap sack that basically has a, if you shoot it enough, explodes! Yeah, I'm only gonna bother kind of reading the... I will summarize a lot of the scans, rather than having the kind of reading all of them out, because some of them are a bit dry. Like, for example, this one, which is a zoomer, which basically is just a crawling spiky thing that can just be shot. And then, when we come up here... Oh, well, I'm just going to ignore that one, actually. Now, up here, we see this red fellow. This is a... Wait for it. Scanning takes a lot longer than I thought it did. This is a Gema, a wall-crawling mollusk with retractable spikes. The Gema is an evolutionary offshoot of the Zuma family. When threatened, it extends its lethal spikes and retracts its head deep into its armored carapace. In other words, it can't easily be destroyed. You just have to kind of time your jump past it. But in fairness, we're not even coming up there. I was just getting those scans while we're here. I can hear beetles behind me, but you can't jump up ledges, you little shits. Anyway, if we head through here... then we've got some more of them, some more sap sacks. You can kind of use the sap sacks as a defense not as a defense mechanism, an offense mechanism. You can use them for attacking. Anyway, if we scan this, access to Chozo Ruins West granted. Please step into the hologram. Let's do just that, and have one of the game's very long elevator sequences. I mean, it's not quite as bad as Mass Effect level of stuff, but all in all, the loading times in this game are very good. As in, other than these elevator things, when you're basically moving through parts of the world, there isn't much loading at all, you'll notice, because basically the way that the whole game is split into... Oh! So get into incoming scan data. Abnormal seismic activity detected. It just says the beetles are burrowing up. Seismic disturbance at ruins site. If we press 1, basically takes us to our short-term goal, which is this place! The Hive Totem! And seismic activity is detected there. So that's where we're kind of heading. We haven't got the map for this area, so we can't actually really tell. Something new. If we look up here, we see this glowing puddly thing. We can actually scan it, and this is an important new class of it. This is Chozo lore. And this is one's called Beginnings. The history of the Chozo stretches back into ancient times, so far into the fog of the past that we know not where our ancestors came from. One thing is clear, however. The Chozo who colonized Tallon 4 made a conscious choice to eschew a civilization of advanced technology. We Chozo chose to live in harmony with nature, guided by the providence of the universe. We believe we will spend peaceful days here, and plan to leave our worlds from time to time. There's, I think, 14 of those Chozo datas around the kind of place. And this is the Chozo Ruins. This definitely, I think, as I was kind of saying this vaguely earlier, this, for a GameCube game, for a GameCube launch game, still does look great. As in, this looks better than most, if not all, Wii games. Ah, damn it, I accidentally pressed 2 with my palm of my hand. Yeah, like, this looks better than most Wii games, to be honest. Even, like, some of the nicest looking Wii games everyone agrees on, like, kind of Xenoblade Chronicles or something like that, still, this looks just as good, to say this was, like, 8 years before it. Anyway, if we come through here... Ah, I can hear a new enemy. Hey, these things. Oh, God, they're dropping on me. These are... Scarabs, exploding parasites that can embed their bodies in solid rock. Scarabs think nothing of sacrificing themselves for the safety of their swarm. When a hostile life form is sighted, they block its progress by embedding themselves in floors and walls. Embedded scarabs violently self-destruct when threatened. This is the issue with scarabs. They think nothing about sacrificing themselves for the good of the swarm. But... If the entire swarm sacrifices itself for the good of the swarm, no one has won. So kind of, yes, it's all right to be selfless in that sense, but if everyone's selfless in that sense, no one actually benefits. Anyway, another scan here, these laser things. These are ions, they're mobile organisms composed entirely of ocular tissue, which launch lasers. But you can't actually kill them, but if you shoot them, they will shut temporarily, and so you can just kind of make your way past them. It's so useful being able to aim on the Wii version of this. Because as I've mentioned earlier, that was a feature that was not in the GameCube one. You couldn't just kind of look around like this. Basically, your vision was fixed looking forward, like this. So basically, imagine this was kind of what it was like. You can move around, but you couldn't look around. In order to look around, you had to stop, hold, I think it was B or well, it's L down, in order to look around. But you couldn't move while you were doing that. So it's very problematic. But there is a reason for it, which kind of makes sense, but it felt very clunky. Anyway, there's some more Chozo data here. And this one is many long years have passed since we Chozo first took root in this land. The passage of time has always been a source of fascination to us. It is the belief of the Chozo sages that the truths of the universe hide within the tumbling currents of time's flow. Even as we search for answers there, however, we find illumination in other, unexpected places. We know not how the ability has come to us, but recently many Chozo have begun to sense things beyond the realm of ordinary perception. Strange sights and inexplicable sensations flood our minds, filling us with visions. We take this growing ability to be a sign of our burgeoning harmonization with the infinite. Perhaps, finally, the universe's secrets are becoming known to us. Well, that's kind of cool. You'll notice there actually aren't any Chozo around, so something happened to them. Like things like this tree, which has elevated toxicity levels in the bark. And down there, these leaves, which are unusually high concentrations of poison, so everything's perhaps not as happy as it seems. Oh, here's a ridiculous thing. What happens when you scan this? An ornate wall hanging with a highly reflective surface. It does not appear important. Thanks, game, you fuckers. Another thing that's flying around are these freaking annoying things. These are war wasps, airborne insects equipped with a venomous stinger capable of shearing steel. Basically, they just fly around and just launch themselves at you. They're relatively easy to kill, but they can be kind of fast-moving. Equally, there are, over here, is War Wasp Hive, which produces war wasps, and we have no way of destroying it yet. Anyway, if you come through here, there is briefly, and I'm going to utilize it, a save station! In case I die, but also for healing me. God, the power suit looks ridiculous. You can see why the Varia suit is the standard, because the shoulders just look like shit on that thing. I don't know how we lost our shoulder plates last... Oh, don't even get me started on that thing. I don't even know what happened there. It's just kind of... It looked like there was an explosion and you lose everything. When I first played this game, I thought it was Ridley stealing your power-ups, which is kind of cool, because I was like, dude, we're going to fight a version of Ridley with a power suit later on. But alas, no such cool things happening. Ran through the parasites again. You can just shoot them and they'll explode anyway. I can hear more war wasps. Yeah, their hives will just kind of continuously, slowly but continuously spawn them, so they can be very annoying. And as I've mentioned, we have no way of destroying them yet, so even more annoying. I can hear one buzzing around. That's worth noting. We actually have a radar up in the top left, which is actually important. And here's something cool. This is something new. There is a blast shield on the door blocking access, and Alice's indicates it's invulnerable to beam weapons. Explosive weapons may damage it. Don't have any of those though, do we, since we fucking lost our missiles last episode. Couple of new enemies as well. There is, on the ground here, I say enemy. This is Tangleweed. Plant life with bait extensions, which tracks into the ground if threatened. It can't actually damage you, it just slows you down. So if you're walking in it, you move slightly more slowly. If you shoot it, though, it goes away. But it will be back. Equally, there is poison, I'm not going to bother scanning it, but there's poisoned water, which deals damage to you by standing in it. And similarly, there are blast caps, which, if you touch them, they explode, and it's toxic and nasty. So, lots of unpleasant toxic things. You're kind of seeing a running theme here of strange poisony stuff, I'm assuming. Ooh, more scans. Man, a lot of scans as you move into a new area, aren't there? This is a plasmite, which is a small insect capable of storing and releasing thermal energy. So basically, it's a moving lamp, and if you shoot it, it goes pew and explodes, which is kind of cool. I also think if we destroy this, then we should see something new. Oh, we didn't. Oh, well, we'll never know. Another plasmite over here. Go away. And we're actually approaching this now, if we look on the map. We've come all the way from kind of like over... Oh, bollocks, I meant to zoom out. We've come all the way from over there, and now we are at the place where unusual seismic activity was detected. The Hive totem, which means this has got to be important. I thought this started a cutscene, but it doesn't. Look at that! Now, this is a really cool concept for a boss, I think. If not, it's not the best boss battle ever, but it's a cool idea. This is the Hive mecha, a security unit programmed to work with predatory Hive dwellers. A design flaw makes the mecha's shielding on the Hive mecha weak around their access ports. These units are second-generation combat drones, able to interface with organic units at a higher level. They train, shelter, and work with Hive-dwelling predators. Unarmed, they rely on their Hive beast to handle any threats. So the deal with the kind of Hive mecha is it's basically like a kind of artificial, like queen bee or something like that. Well, it's queen to these little fuckers. These are, and they're really annoying to scan because they're really fast, these are ram war wasps that basically circle around you and then strike. Both the ram war wasp and the Hive mecha are unique scans here. You can't get them anywhere else, so make sure you scan them now because they don't ever come back. Right, there's your chance. What you have to do is basically it spits out a load of drones, of workers, well, whatever these things are, soldiers actually probably, that spin around you, then it opens its gob so you can attack it. What you have to do really here is just watch your radar, because you can see them spinning around you wildly on the radar in the top left, and that's then when you can see them stopping, because you can't really, you can't kind of easily target them. Oh, bollocks, right in my face. You can't L-target them at all while they're flying past you, and it's you can shoot like that, like they're all attacking. Oh, ow. They're kind of, you can't reliably hit them like that. Sometimes you can. If you do hit them, they will stop and you'll get a few more hits in on them, but mostly it's about waiting until they stop. And it's a bit of a, I mean, it's a slightly repetitive boss battle, but you can see the function of it. The function of it in terms of, like, it's a bit of a tutorial, basically. It's just teaching you how to use the radar, and it's quite a good way of, like, I do like it when games do what I refer to as showing you, not telling you. So it never said at any point, you have a radar on the top left, but it showed you, rather, this is a very difficult boss battle if you don't use your radar, because you will just get rammed from all angles, and you just end up spending most of the battle spinning around wildly. So, that one looked like it was going to stop. You only have to do, of course, this is a Nintendo game, so of course we need to get, well, in the absence of a health bar, which most bosses do have, but this one doesn't, so you just need to land 3 successful hits in on the boss, as ever, and we've got 2 of them already. Oh, nope. Unfortunately, there's not much left to say at this point. Oh, this is something I can at least talk about while we're kind of doing this. You might notice, those of you who are kind of, well, you'd have to be extremely eagle-eyed to spot it, but you might have noticed on the bottom of the video, this video is running at 50 frames a second. Yeah, this game can run 60 frames a second, but for some reason the European versions don't do that. They only go at 50 because our TVs are crap and old, apparently, even though they never really were. But this game, you cannot force it to run in 60 Hz mode, it only runs in 50 Hz mode, therefore I can only get it up to 50 frames a second, but to be honest, it basically looks exactly the same unless you really know what you're looking for. And with that final shot, that's the Hive mecha defeated, and we get a little achievement token thing for it, and that unlocked whatever it was guarding. What does that look like to you, viewer? Let's see. Well, anyway, let's just actually run up and grab it. Missile launcher reacquired, I think you mean to say there, game. And it tells us how to use it, even though we learned that on the Orpheon before he took it away. And now we only have, like, our missile ammo is up there, and we only have 5 shots, whereas we had 15 on the Orpheon. Anyway, if we get through here, we've beaten a boss, so, in true Zelda style, we get an energy tank, which basically is like kind of the equivalent of a heart container. So now you'll see next to where it says 99, there's that little block at the top, which now means once this 99 goes all the way down to 0, we get another 99. So basically it is just a heart container. And then, there's some other stuff here, actually. We haven't scanned this before. This is missile ammunition, which gives us 3 back, which is mildly cool. Right, so this is actually a dead end here now. And now we see the kind of way that this game tends to progress. That made me jump. Which is basically, the game goes by, you explore until you get a power-up. Then that power-up then opens new places for you. You then explore those new places until you get another power-up, which then opens new places for you, and you can see how this goes, and it's quite cool. This is a gameplay style shared between the Metroid games and the Castlevania series of games, and is thus lovingly referred to as Metroidvania. And it's a style I like, but I know it really pisses some people off because they're like, oh, it's just backtracking. And to be honest, that is kind of true, which is why I'll be cutting most of the backtracking out of this by just kind of, usually when I'm backtracking, unless I'm talking or something important, I will cut. Also, fuck, I thought I fell into the death water there. War wasp hives can be destroyed with missiles, so they don't repeatedly respawn, which is pretty cool. Anyway, now if we go through here, we can smash those blast caps off the doors now, so we can pop through here, and here is the map station for the Chozo ruins, which is incredibly useful to have. One thing you can kind of see on map stations is basically if you're walking past a room that you kind of can't immediately see the entrance to, this can kind of show you actually where you kind of are. So like, if there's little bits off, you can kind of see where things connect to. Oh, I meant to bloody zoom out again. Yeah, you can kind of see where bits connect to and what's worth kind of going to. Like that! That looks important going to. Some kind of arena or boss battle. I wonder. There's another little thing we can do actually in this room with missiles is if we, well, let's destroy these blast caps because otherwise they'll explode when I touch them and I don't want to do that. If we hop onto where they were, scan this wall, stress points present within this brimstone wall. A concussive blast may shatter it. Indeed, brimstone, shattered by missiles. And hopping through is a new little thing. This is, it's not scannable. This is a missile expansion, which increases our missile carrying capacity by 5. There are 49 of those within the game to give you a total of 255 missiles. They will be also tracked on the visualizer like everything else. You know my style by now, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you might not. This might be your first Let's Play of mine that you're watching, in which case, hello and welcome. Though I said that earlier. So, anyway, we're basically, I think I'll probably call this episode here, because we are just approaching here a save point. And I know it's only been 17 minutes, but I don't want to go on and do more stuff when I've got a save point here. So I'm afraid I'm going to call it there. Shorter episodes, I know, but I'm going to be uploading this fairly regularly. So thank you very much for watching. I've been the Doctor with the Infamous Gentleman, and this has been Metroid Prime. Thank you very much, and good day.